Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Business Breakthrough Google Hangout. It's Dietzel here, and I'm live from the Canadian Lake Home. We are going to be doing our Business Breakthrough Google Hangouts over the coming months at the Canadian Lake Home. I'm going to have a special announcement here. I'm going to show you and take you on a little journey here today. So you're going to want to watch this, and I'm really excited about what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to assist you to journey to the person you must become. And it is a program, an extensive program that we've created over the last 12 years. And this is one of the very first programs that we created as I built a coaching, consulting, and training program. And it's really designed to help you play big, develop the confidence to play big, help you really understand where your unique talents, your geniuses in the area in the advisory age in which we live. And I've created a pretty cool reflective process, and thousands of clients that have gone through it over the last 12 years have commented about how powerful it is. And so today I want to help you create your proven message. We're going to talk about creating your UPP, your unique personal proposition, something that's special, unique to you. And I'm going to take you through a predictable, certain, and secure system to help you develop yours. This will be part one of a two-part series. We're going to talk next week on the 10-step process on developing your guru or your expert story. And we're talking about being a guru, an expert today. We're talking about taking it one step further than just being an expert, but positioning yourself as the expert's expert, the advisor's advisor, the consultant's consultant, the trainer's trainer, because the advisory age or the recommendation age in which we live is all geared around knowing how to position yourself instantly above what your competitors are doing. And it's important that before you frame what you do in the marketplace, that you always you design a process or system of verbalizing what you do, i.e. messaging what you do away from what your competitors fail to do. And so this whole contrast, positioning yourself versus what others are doing is crucial in today's marketplace. And so I want to underscore this as we move forward today. I've got a bonus for you today. I will write it down for you here on my Post-it notes here. I've got index cards, Post-it notes, all kinds of things here. We have gone through our company is growing. And it's growing so quickly that we've had a major move in our offices internally. And I'm going to be doing a lot of our Google Hangouts like we have done off and on from the Canadian Lake Home. We're going to do a lot more of them. And some of them are going to be from the office at the Canadian Lake Home. Some of them are going to be from the conference center at the Canadian Lake Home. And we're getting ready for another conference with leading entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, and trainers that are coming in from all over the world. Many of them are mentors of Lifestyle Entrepreneur magazine, so we're getting ready for that. All of our conferences that we do get booked within 24 hours once we let those that are on our early notification list know. And so many of you have been calling our office and wanting to know when the next one, free one is available, free date is available. And we have some dates for our June and July because we haven't published those yet. Although there are a number of you already that are scheduled for those times, but we will make those public. And we always start with our early notification list as well. So stay tuned for that. And I really look forward today to taking you through the system that I've spent a lot of time, thousands of hours on helping startups and seasoned entrepreneurs understand their UPP. Now, as we start with this, you might have heard the concept of USP, right? USP is your market differentiation. That's what it stands for. Well, literally, it stands for unique sales or selling proposition or position. And those are fundamentally two different concepts. I've done a lot of teaching on building your market differentiation around a USP that reflects both your selling proposition and your selling position. We've also talked about UPP off and on, And we've created a program, and it is a best-selling program on our private client site around developing your UPP, your unique personal proposition. This is your unique thumbprint in the marketplace today. And it's crucial that you know how to develop it, because it's going to become a critical component around messaging what you do and fighting the law, Milgram's law, Zipf's law, and the law of irrelevancy. And all three of those laws are working against you if you don't understand the importance of what we're going to cover today. And that is your UPP, the development of your UPP, your unique personal proposition. You have one. Everybody has one here. And the power of what I'm going to show you doesn't require you to have gone through a life-changing, some kind of just incredible situation that very few people ever go through. You don't have to have one of those life experiences, where you were, on a plane that blew up and you were saved, or you drowned on a boat and lived in the Pacific Ocean for 47 days, like Louis Zamperini from the movie Unbroken. You don't have to have those kinds of stories. And yes, those stories are powerful. And you have one, it certainly can lead yourself to having some real leverage in the marketplace. But I'm speaking to all of you that don't have those kinds of earth-shaking life experiences. And I want to show you how to pull out your own multi-million-dollar story. And in today's marketplace, I want you to think in terms of multiples, not just multiples of 10 or multiples of 100, but multiples of 1,000, of 10,000, of $100,000 and greater. And that's the power of what we've been teaching. And I've been training you in and inverting the business funnel and using some strategically created assessment tools to position high-end programs and services. And part of the hundreds of systems that we've created is the power of the UPP, unique personal proposition. So if we combine UPP with USP, okay, unique sales or selling position or proposition, with your unique personal proposition, we can start really leveraging the power of what I call MSP. In fact, I'm going to write that out here for you. And that is a concept called, let's see here, MSP. Let's see if we can bring that in. Here we go. Multiple selling or sales positions or propositions. So in today's marketplace, it's really important that you have multiple, you have MSPs. You have a combination of USPs and UPPs. So you've got market differentiators from your branding and market differentiators that clearly set yourself and your company's products and services apart. And you combine that with your UPP, which I'm going to take you through a really powerful system here to set us up for the 10 steps for developing your guru story, your expert story. And I want to underscore again that being a guru or an expert is not good enough in today's marketplace, because we've hit this accelerated pace today where every week there are thousands of coaches, new coaches coming online, flooding into your industry, competing against you. So you've got to position your company at the forefront of what's going on in today's marketplace. And we've talked about the importance of SET data, SET, and how to leverage your company at the forefront of what's going on in today's industry, and why it's crucial you have a training program or division within your company. You have a certification process and division within your company, and you have the ability to create royalties, coaching, consulting, or training royalties. And I'm a huge proponent on creating your own private white label coaching, consulting, and training programs. It's a powerful way of creating royalties for your advice. So first of all, I have a special announcement. So I shot this video here, just a quick one here, just a little bit before here today. I want you to watch this. It's a 30-second video. I'm really excited about what we're going to be doing here on our Google Hangouts in the coming weeks here. So let me disappear here for a second, and I want you to watch this, and we're going to come back and I'm going to take you through developing your UPP, your unique personal proposition. So you have a proven message that's going to connect with your ideal clients a lot faster than what your competitors are doing. Okay, so remember, we want to frame what you do contrasting what your competitors fail to do. Okay, so I trust you get this. I'm going to just disappear here, and I'm going to play this here for you.
Hey, come with me and take a look at where I'm going to be running my Google Hangouts in the coming weeks.
We're going to be shooting our Google Business Breakthrough Google Hangouts every week live right here from the Canadian Lake Home on the deck on the beach at the Canadian Lake Home. And with this beautiful vantage point, this is a first in the industry of Google Hangouts. You're going to love the venue, and more importantly, you're going to love the concepts, the content, the processes and systems that I'm going to share with you on how to build your business faster, quicker, more strategically, and execute in ways that you've never dreamed possible. All right, so I'm excited about that. We're going to be shooting our Business Breakthrough Google Hangouts off and on from the beach, from the deck at the Canadian Lake Home. Never seen anybody do anything like this before, and we've got a lot of really cool activities that we're going to do with you and assist you to grow your company at an accelerated rate. As well, we're going to come back to featuring a few of our mentors on our Google Hangouts here from our magazine. Lifestyle Entrepreneur Magazine is the sponsor of these Business Breakthrough Google Hangouts. So with that being said, let's move forward here today. And I want to take you just on a quick evolution of my thinking as it involves leveraging the advisory or the recommendation age in which we live, in which today your potential clients select the company who is perceived, or the person, the entrepreneur or the business owner that's perceived to be on top in today's marketplace. And they do this within 4 seconds, as little as 4 seconds. So you've got to have the positioning power to position your company at that forefront, because literally you have as little as 4 seconds to win them over. And if you do it right, you've got them. You could potentially have ideal clients for life. And I want to show you how to sell a lot more of your programs and services and have lifetime clients like I do. And when you've got a better business model than what you're using right now, and definitely better than what your competitors are using, you've seen the stories of how my clients have grown so fast and so quickly. So let's just, I'm going to disappear here off and on. I'm going to share my screen today. A lot of times I have things written out for you to watch. Today it's more, I'm going to be talking with you. I'm going to be sharing my screen off and on because I've got systems here that I want to show you. And I think it's crucial that you follow what I'm going to teach you here today, okay? So first of all, I created a system called the Unconscious Credibility Marketing System. This is a system that I designed years ago. A system that goes back a little over 10 years ago. This was part of our programs that we had when I was new in business, and we got recognized by Adobe. We put together a program called Entrepreneurial Authoring right here. We ran an executive mentoring program, and we had a program called The Person You Must Become, which is a program that I want to focus on today, and a system within The Person You Must Become to show you how to become that person that you must become in order to confidently message what you do and create quantum leaps in how you perceive and how you execute in today's marketplace. So the program that I'm going to show you goes back years. In fact, the Person You Must Become website, if you go there, is a website that we created years ago. We have a lot of websites online. That's a site I've never touched since we launched it years ago. It was the #1 personal development site for years. And we had so many opportunities in business in my early days, and still today, but it's like, okay, where are we going to focus our time, channel our time, etc. So we have created a lot of assets, and we have a lot of business owners that we're vetting today as co-partners for many of the assets that we have to help them create leverage and kind of, if you will, creating a really powerful alliance with the right candidates for the person you must become, for entrepreneurial authoring programs. Most importantly, where my passion really is on the coaching, consulting, and training side, and helping you sell premium price programs and services without ever having to rely on outdated sales and marketing technique strategies that just make you sound salesy and sounds gross kind of makes all of our skin crawl. So in today's marketplace, we want to get away from that, right? The goal is to have your ideal candidates sell themselves to you. Instead of you selling to them, have themselves sell themselves, or have them sell themselves to you. So we want to invert, we want to flip, if you will, this whole model, okay? And so these models and these systems, the processes that I created from day one, I've always gone against the trend. I'm a teacher and I love teaching, and I wanted to create some very powerful systems using assessment tools and et cetera that help entrepreneurs author and publish at record speed. And from that, we just created a lot of really cool systems, accelerated business processes, all built on accelerated learning. So that is just a little quick history here. As you know, if you know my story, within my first year, we were selling $50,000, $100,000 programs. And I created $1 million business less than a year. And I was replaced my income and my wife's income collectively in less than 3 months, just starting out in business. And because we attracted some very high-end program clients, corporate clients, and leaders in coaching, consulting, and training that all are accelerated teaching and learning systems and wanted to be able to author and publish and build a business off of a book. That's the philosophy and the procedures and processes and tools and systems we built around a program called entrepreneurial authoring. But we got into so many marketplaces really quickly, and I had a lot of clients paying me a lot of money. And that's how I really learned how to command maximum fees, literally by doing it and having companies and leaders in coaching, consulting, and training giving me a lot of money for my advice. And it gave me the confidence really quickly, play big. And a lot of those clients retained me to help them pitch their deals. And we've created some great specific processes for coaches and consultants and trainers that are pitching intangible services. There are some experts out there that have pitch processes that are good for pitching, physical, tangible services and products, et cetera. But when it comes to coaching, consulting, and training, it's very intangible. And so it's really important that you create a visual representation of what you do. And I've covered on previous Google Hangouts how to create a visual spatial representation, how to diagram out your competitive advantage. Today, I want to help you message. So put words around your message. All right, I'm going to share with you a template that comes from our unconscious credibility marketing system. And you're going to want to take notes, and there's going to be a little assignment for you here to work on to help you really understand your core genius and how to begin to connect your core genius with the hungry wants, desires, and what your target market is really looking for. Okay, so I trust you're following me. And based on the comments and questions and emails that are coming through, I'm humbled by that. So we want to invert the funnel and everything I do. So as you develop your UPP, we want to keep it congruent to positioning high-end programs and services. All right. So as we move forward here, I want you to jot down and take note of my definition of marketing, because we live in the recommendation age, the post-information age. Okay, and there's very few experts that have realized that we don't live in the information age anymore. We live in the post-information age. But we want to focus on not a discussion of facts, but we want to focus on the transference of emotion where your content is delivered strategically. Okay, so you need to understand that marketing in the recommendation age is not a discussion of facts, but a transference of emotion where your content is delivered strategically. Okay, and this is the premise behind New Guru model. It's the premise certainly behind entrepreneurial authoring, the person you must become. And that's knowing how to engineer your messaging for what it is that you do. And we want to stop telling people what we do. In fact, we want to start showing people what we do. We want to incorporate the senses. We want to diagram what it is that you do. So you have a visual representation. So your target market sees what it is that you do. And remember, we talked about at the beginning of our training here, is always positioning that from the standpoint of the context, having the right context for your content. So having the right context for your message, we need to convey that from the standpoint of what your competitors fail to do. So it's really important that you understand my definition of marketing It definitely goes against the trend. However, and it's a warning to you that if you're going to listen to me and follow what I advocate, it certainly goes against what most experts teach in the area of rapid business transformation and commanding maximum fees, getting paid up front, and creating coaching, consulting, and training royalties. So we talk then about building context, all right? You want to jot down this. There's a process, I call it the PCA process, okay? Where you want to, before you start delivering your content, you want to focus on delivering a better paradigm, okay? A better paradigm for your content that's all geared around an actionable step, okay? And that's what the PCA process is. So remember, marketing is not a discussion of facts, but it's a transference of emotion. So what we want to do then is we want to move from looking at context and content as two, if you will, separate systems, content inside of context. And we want to, if you will, integrate content within context. Okay, and as I mentioned here, context and content must be interconnected strategically. Okay, so it's really important that you know this, because when you know how to do this properly, you become so much more powerful in your messaging. You have a lot more confidence. And when you have a lot more confidence, you're able to talk about what it is that you do more powerfully. By doing that, you create more influence, right? And it's the people, and it's the entrepreneur specifically, and even more specifically, the coaches, the consultants, and trainers that are able to do that are able then to allow others to live vicariously through them and through their teaching. And when you're able to do that, you're able to speak directly into your potential candidates, not their conscious mind, but their unconscious or their subconscious mind, right? And there's 21 ways that you can speak to your potential candidate's subconscious mind. And this is really powerful, because if you've been following our teaching around how to message what you do and bypass the conscious mind, and the reason why you want to do this is because the only part of your brain, or if we think from your potential candidate's brain, and from your brain, my brain, the only part of the brain that has a stop message is the conscious mind. So we want to learn how to message what we do that bypasses the subconscious or the conscious mind of your potential candidates, and speak directly to the subconscious mind that controls decision making, that speaks to the 6 motives that drive all human behavior. And I shared with you on a previous Google Hangout the #1 motive that drives all human behavior. Now, I'm not going to cover that on this training, but there is a science around messaging. And I want to share with you today how to kind of, if you will, a specific system, and taking a look at you and what you bring to the marketplace. All right. Trust that you're following me and you're getting this. So that is the PCA process. And it's important, and this is from when we designed entrepreneurial authoring. If we think of an author, and today we can think of somebody that reads, the reader, and this is you, the author, and you can have a reader, or you can have multimedia that you bring your message to the market. For example, using Google Hangouts like we do, using webinars, using a book, an audio program, etc. But the key here that I want you to see is how you conceive your story and how your story is perceived. So the conceivability of your story and the perceivability of your story, and how it's expressed and interpreted by the perceiver, is absolutely crucial in the advisory age, in the recommendation age in which we live. So I want to share with you today fundamentals around building your UPP, your unique personal proposition, that understands the importance of conceiving a story and perceiving a story. And the better that you can integrate those two through expression and interpretation, the faster your company is going to grow, the more confident you're going to speak. And this is a system that I teach to all of my clients when I help them develop their keynotes. I've had an opportunity and created a very interesting system on how to reach any corporation anybody to command speaking high-end speaking fee. And it's a system that I teach all of my clients on how to, first of all, access the right people that are going to make the decisions to hire you for at least $5,000. Many of my clients are at $10,000 or a lot higher for their speaking fees. But more importantly, not only do they command high-end speaking fees, and this is the power of knowing how to develop your UPP, because it's the foundation for using systems and processes around now formulas that we've created on how to create a keynote that not only allows you to command maximum fees for your speaking engagements, but also has your candidates that are in the audience not just doing this, but wanting to reach into their back pocket and hand you their credit cards because they want to move into your high-end programs and services, and hiring you out, or hiring your company out, or hiring your team of coaches, that is your clients or other coaches, consultants, and trainers that have been trained in your systems. And you get a chance then to co-brand with them and build some unbelievably powerful royalties on today's marketplace. And royalties that I can almost guarantee you nobody in your industry has. All right. And this isn't licensing. It's not franchising. Not an advocate of either of those, unless you're in the right industry. But if you're a coach, consultant, and trainer, you want to steer clear or steer away from licensing and franchising, as I've trained you on previous training events. All right, I want to now move forward here, and I want to share a template. And this is a template that comes out of our unconscious credibility marketing system. If you want to jot it down, we're going to spend about 10 minutes here. We're going to finish up here, and then I've got a bonus program. You will recognize the person, and somebody that I had the privilege of doing business with years ago, and it was a best-selling audio program. And on developing your dream and confidence to play at the highest levels. You will probably know the person I'm going to show you, because his movie was one of the top 10 inspirational movies that has ever been created. So, but more about that, you're going to want to get this the bonus program that I have for you here today. All right. So if you take a look here, I've created what I call the Awakened Legacy History Timeline. And the problem with many entrepreneurs today that I see is they don't take time. They don't have a proven process to develop their UPP, their unique personal proposition. And so I put this program here together. This is a small portion of the bigger unconscious credibility marketing system, where we teach our clients 21 ways to build credibility at a non-conscious level that automatically position you light years ahead of your competitors, because you're really using and leveraging your brain, because this is the IP age. So you want to have better systems of executing and advocating your advice that, as I mentioned, gets your target market to sell themselves to you. So first of all, if you take a look at the timeline, and you just take out a sheet of paper and take it and put it in landscape, rotate it so it's in landscape format in front of you, and then create 4 quadrants. Here, you might have more depending on your age, but 10 to 20 means your age from 10 to 20, 21 to 30 years of age, 31 to 40, 41 to 50. If you're older than that, you can create another quadrant here. And I want you to have the quadrant should go above and below the Awakened Living History Timeline, okay? And the whole purpose here is to help you self-reflect. One of our speed to market principles is he or she who self-reflects the greatest controls marketplaces today. So you want to have a more powerful way of self-reflecting on who you are, what you do, and with a view of how are you going to put the right words around what it is that you do that's congruent with the pictures that you want to communicate to your marketplace, that instead of telling your marketplace what it is that you do, i.e., remember, staying away from facts, and instead showing, elicit emotion, elicit the visual languaging, the hearing, the kinesthetic way in which that is the more that you can inculcate those kinds of learning patterns and systems into your messaging, the more effective you are. So my rule with all my clients is stop telling people what you do and instead show them what it is that you do, okay? So let's go back and take a look at who you are, all right? And what you've learned through the School of Hard Knocks. And this is the genius of this system here, okay? So first of all, what I'd like you to do is take a look at each epoch of your time. And you want above the awakened living history timeline, you want to put down positive emotional experiences and negative emotional experiences. And I'd like you to pick out your level 3s and level 4. So there's only, like, there's level 1, there's level 2, there's level 3, and there's level 4. A level 3 experience, both negative and positive, is something that you remember on a monthly or weekly basis, all right? A level 4 emotional experience is an emotional experience that you remember almost every single week and or almost every single day. It is so ingrained on your body, in yourself, in your person, from your history and who you are, that it is an identifier to you right now. And it can be positive and it can be negative. And we've all gone through some painful experiences, right? Both positive, negative experiences, which will be recorded down here, and positive experiences, which will be recorded up here. So what I'd like you to do is list your 3s and 4s, positive emotional experiences. So you put little hashtags here. So maybe at the age of 12, the age of 15, the age of 19, you had these 3 positive emotional experiences. They're level 3s or 4s. And you also know that between the ages of 10 and 20, you had, some negative emotional experiences. And I want you to pick out the top 3, all right? And list them with little hashtags. And I want you to list down what happened. And they should be, by definition, a 3 or a 4. So a 3, again, you remember it at least on a monthly basis, if not on a weekly basis. For a level 4, you're remembering it at least on a weekly basis, and probably moreover, they're a part of you on a daily basis. That's a level 4 emotional experience, okay? So I want you to give yourself a total rubric scale from all 6 emotional experiences. You might have more, you might have a lot in this time frame, but yet in your 21 to 30s, you don't have that many, and all of a sudden 30 to 40, you've got a lot, again, positive and negative. So I want you to, there's what is called a total rubric score right here. And what you're going to do there is, I'd recommend that on the positive side, you maybe do them in green. On the negative side, you do them in red. The positive red hashtags, green. And I'd like you to record them all the way through your life and just look at the most significant emotional experiences that you've gone through. Okay, both positive, which are above the awakened history, living history timeline, and negative, those that are below awakened living history timeline. Now, this whole system of executing is covered in our FAST program, FAS²T, and it's found on the Person You Must Become. And if you want further details, if you read that here, you'll see that you can get that on the Person You Must Become website. So when you're all done then evaluating your life experiences, I'd like you to take your total rubric score. So add up all your 3s and 4s from each epoch right here and put your rubric here. And what that's going to do is it's going to start showing you where your core genius or value or greatest connectors came from, what age and time, and how long they've been entrenched within you. And it's going to begin to help you analyze your positive and your negative rubric scores down here in terms of just who you are. Okay, so I just want you to focus on the 3s and the 4s. So you can also do it like many of our clients do. They list, all what they think are all their major emotional experiences they've gone through, and then based on a rating of 1, 2, 3, 4, we exclude the 1s and the 2s, which are, you're not remembering them on a monthly, weekly, or daily basis. And if you're not remembering them at that level, you're not emotionally connected enough to those experiences, and they haven't affected you who you are right now. Okay, because the person you are right now is a total message if you will, of your previous life experiences, and especially the ones that you've internalized at a level 3 or a level 4. And they've probably constrained you in becoming the person that you are right now. But if you want to become the person that you must become, you've got to really understand the positive side and definitely the negative side of the living history timeline. And probably, and here's an insight for you, probably your core genius is not necessarily, it could come from what's, all those favorable experiences that you've had in your life, but they could come through the school of hard knocks, underneath the timeline, where you've gone through some unbelievably painful experiences. On another Google Hangout, I'm going to show you how to evaluate those life experiences and how to start using a pricing model in order to attribute value, real value to your life experiences, where it just makes it so much easier to command maximum fees in the marketplace. And my clients love this because you don't have to worry about hiring out a high-priced copywriter. You don't have to worry about hyping what it is that you do, etc. You use a predictable, certain, and secure system to really value your advice in a way that's congruent to what your target market sees. Remember, we talked about how you create your message and how your message is perceived by your potential market. We want to make sure that that is one. Okay, so if we go back here now to our UPP creation template, that is how to discover your $1 million story and position it using the unconscious credibility marketing system. You're going to begin to, as you do this, analyze your life and take a look and say, wow, during certain epochs of my life, I just went through some unbelievable experiences. And those experiences are going to be massive touch points, if you will, as you position yourself with your USP, and your USP is going to allow your potential candidates to cognitively love you, but your UPP is going to have your ideal candidates love you, leveraging the way that your potential candidates really make decisions using their subconscious mind. All right. So what I'd like you to do too, then, after you've identified the core areas, your most painful and most positive experiences that you've gone through to date, you want to take a look at in each of those epochs, especially, where you in your level 4s, take a look at the mentors that were in your life at that time. And the mentors that you had in your life that helped you, they could be coaches, they could be coaches from different sports, they could be teachers, they could be adults, they could be trainers that you had. And these mentors are those that resonated with you, and you resonated with them, and they were the ones that helped you get to that level 4. And I want you to list those mentors right here, okay? Now, the reason why you want to do this is because if you identify a mentor in your life as a mentor, by definition, they had character traits, they had qualities that maybe you were missing at that time, and they helped you develop those qualities, those attributes about them that made them highly attractive to you. And also, if they had them, chances are the mentors that we've had in our life, we've recognized them as mentors because there's something missing in our life. And so I want you to take a look at the mentors, each of those epochs in your life, and take a look at what it was about them. What were their key attributes? And define it, because chances are that was something that was missing in your life. And you start looking at, okay, what was missing? What has been missing in my life as I've gone through my life? And you start analyzing where potentially some of the troublesome areas are in your life, who you really are, right? Because it's so difficult for many of us, right? All of us at some level, we're just analyzing ourselves, how to objectively look at who we are. And so we can look at who we are based on the mentors that came into our lives to help us achieve those level 4s, both positive or help us deal with tragedies in our life that represented level 4s, or what we would define as growing up or from the school of hard knocks, huge failures or difficulties, all right? So again, this is all part of understanding who you are, because when you really understand yourself at a deeper level and you start identifying the dragons in your closet, you've got a system that will allow you to re-engineer your thinking and your messaging and how you think about what it is you do and communicate what it is that you do, you can build not only the confidence to play at the highest levels, but you can execute. That is, the execution is congruent to the level of focus and the confidence that you're building, and we want to build those at the same time. All right, so let's move forward. Let's move back here. The ask component right here. There's only 3 things that can be learned and asked, and learned and taught. Learned and asked. Only 3 things that can be learned and asked in education, especially when it pertains to accelerated learning. There's only 3 learning domains. Okay, and that is the A domain. We call it just ask, ASK. A stands for attitude, the attitudinal domain. Okay, and that's helping your client, potential candidate, see a new paradigm. That was the attitudinal domain. So you want to look at it. What did you learn? What was the attitude that you learned through whatever situation, the 4 or the 3s, positive and negative? What did you learn through that? What were the attitudes that you developed? What was the specific skills that you developed? And skills are the application of knowledge. So what was the knowledge that you gained? And then from that knowledge, what were the skills that you developed? And if you start looking at what it is, who you are, and what you bring to the market from the only 3 learning domains that you want to focus on in organizing and packaging your advice, we want to keep everything highly simplistic and so that we can focus on execution, okay? So with the system then, I've just covered with you how to analyze your life experiences using the rubric and divide it into epochs of time. Talked about looking at both the positive and negative experiences, summarizing your total rubric so you see where your greatest leverage came from. And we talked about the mentors that you've attracted in your life and identifying an attribute of that mentor that resonated with you at the highest level as an indication of who you are at a deeper level. And then we talked, I shared with you just quickly the just ask system. Attitude, skills, and knowledge. There's only 3 things that can be learned and taught: attitudes, skills, and knowledge. And so you want to do that for every one of your level 4 life experiences, both positive and negative. What was the attitude? What was the knowledge? And what was the skill that was gained by the experience? Okay. So the whole exercise here is really focused on one of our speed to market principles. And I've listed that for you at the bottom of the template. And that is, you want to reflect on the past, in the present, for the future. Okay, so notice the change in the preposition and in the sequence of time. Reflect on the past, all right, in the present, for the future. Remember, one of our speed to market principles is that he or she who self-reflects the greatest controls marketplaces today. Okay, so if we come back here, I want to just finish this template up, and then I want to give you this bonus program here that you're going to love as a thank you, and just because I've been so blessed in my business and in the kind of clients that I have today. But you want to take a look at the 4 food groups here. I call this the 4 key feedback groups, and how to analyze your messaging. And there's only 4 feedback groups that you want to listen to when it comes to organizing your messaging. First feedback group is you want to have some close confidence, okay? And in our systems that we've created for our clients, we've got some very in-depth analytical tools for our clients to use with trusted confidence, i.e. trusted friends or colleagues that they can get valuable feedback from. And it's important that you're asking the right questions at the right time in the right sequence to get that kind of feedback. So close confidence, I would put that in number 1. Number 2, having mastermind partners or those that are aligned. So if you're in business, right, you want to be close to other business owners, especially leaders in business. So if you want to attract that high level of mastermind partner, I've created a very cool system called the Mastermind Monetizer that all my clients use. And it allows me to attract industry leaders from across multiple different industries, all because I've got, cool systems that create a better organizing principle in the market. And I've spoken to you about that before, about having a better organizing principle than what your competitors have. So you want to put down mastermind partners. They're really important in helping you identify who you are and what you do. The next are hiring out experts, okay? Hiring out a mentor or a coach to help you get your message out and identify it. And then the most important group, I think, for getting feedback, and we've created a whole program around this that we teach our clients, it's how to build their marketing feedback data. But you want to have clients, both paid and pro bono. So many of our clients are seasoned experts. They're leaders already in their industries and they want to continue to lead, or they were leaders and they're losing market traction very quickly and they want to re-engineer other processes and systems on the fly that allow them to close deals very quickly. And then many of our clients are in startup mode and they've never had paid clients for their advice. So what do you do? We've created some cool systems to help them get feedback, both so they get paid clients and get even greater marketing feedback data. But you've also got clients that you've probably done pro bono work for, or clients, we'll call them clients, that seek your advice over coffee at the water cooler, at your kid's soccer game, on the stands of your child's basketball game, whatever. And they know who you are. They know that you're very valuable in your advice and they seek you out. So those are the four important, we'll call them food groups, if you will, for getting feedback. The final area here that I want you to list here, and that is right here. You want to build your USP. So this area here is all around building your USP, but you want to make sure that you build your USP around what you can be the best at. Okay. And this is going to help you. This system is going to help you what you can be the best at. Developing your system. So you've got to have a system. Your system becomes your thesis. That is, what are you proving in the marketplace? So you've got to have a system in today's marketplace. It's crucial. And then thirdly, how you package your advice is critical in the development and the deployment of your USP, all right, which is part of our awaken ideation process to discover your big dream, all right? On the UPP side then, we'll just keep it really simple. On our unconscious credibility marketing system, we go into this a lot deeper, but I want you to write down just KT. The goal is to get your potential candidates very quickly, leveraging Milgram's law, to know, like, and trust you. Know, like, and trust you, okay? If you don't have trust in today's marketplace, what do you have, right? It's an important component on who I vet to come into the Canadian Lake Home, because we've got entrepreneurs that come in from all over the world. And my vetting process works so well and my clients leverage it. And I'll tell you, it works really well because my wife is impressed with the hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs that have come to the Canadian Lake Home, thousands of clients that we've had that my wife has met virtually or when we're traveling. And my clients are are using the same system to attract the kind of clients that they really want. Not the kind of people that they used to work with if they were in the corporate world, or like me in the educational world when I was a teacher and a young vice principal, because there's many people there that I didn't really want to work with, but I had to. Today in business, it's all about working with the kind of people that you want to work with, right? And making your spouse proud. My wife is proud of what I do. And part of that is, I think, because she sees a level of client that comes to us that trusts us with their money, with their time, to get the kind of advice that they're really looking for. So messaging what you do and developing your UPP is so crucial to your success. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this training, and I got a bonus program here for you, just hold on a sec. We've gone a little bit over here today, but you want to leverage your USP. That's why I had the USP above, the UPP underneath, okay, on the how to build your UPP, your multi-million-dollar story. But if you leverage those properly, you can really create some very cool combinations, permutations, MSPs, multiple selling or sales position or proposition. And this will allow you to really even faster differentiate yourself from your competitors, so the law of irrelevancy never works against you. Remember, the law of irrelevancy is defined by this: that if your potential candidates see you as your competitor, you have lost the game. So you can't be seen as your competitor. You can't look like, smell like, taste like, you can't be seen like to be like your competitor. The marketplace is too overwhelming. too overcrowded. And in an overcrowded marketplace like we live, your potential candidates for your programs want to ignore your message. And so when they start listening to the message, they listen to the message to ignore you. I want you to understand. It's almost like, what do you mean, Glenn? Well, they listen to your message to ignore you. They listen to you because they want to see that you resemble somebody else or you're like something else, so they don't have to listen to you, so they can block you out. All right. So you need to understand this because this is crucial. So you want to build your UPP properly. And we covered here today the power of developing your UPP. I want to take you through next week 10 steps on developing your UPP, then your guru story. Remember, we want to develop your guru story as the guru's guru or the expert's expert or the advisor's advisor, the coach's coach. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And I've got a program here I want to give to you. And so I'll share that with you. I'm going to have to write it out here because my markers are not at my desk because we just went through some move here internally with reorganizing. My markers are across over there. So I don't want to get up and leave you here. So I'm just going to use my pen here today and write this out here for you. I also gave you a special announcement here at the beginning that I'm really excited about, doing our Business Breakthrough Google Hangouts on the beach at the Canadian Lake Home. I was tempted to do it today, but it's still a little bit cold here. As you saw, there's a little bit of ice on the lake, especially on the beach. You probably didn't see too much sand because it's still frozen at the shoreline. But I look forward to our Business Breakthrough Google Hangouts and doing them. Sometimes we do them, as you know, from the conference center here at the Canadian Lake Home, which is just over there. And we do them from the office here at the Canadian Lake Home. Sometimes we do them from our international headquarters. And now I'm really excited, especially with the nicer weather now coming upon us, to do them outside at the beach. So I'm excited about that. The bonus program that I'd like to share with you today, I'll go here. It is the person you must become. I was fortunate enough years ago to attract and still attract some amazing people. But very early on in business, as I mentioned to you, I had leaders in different industries coming to us that wanted assistance on messaging what they do. And so we created a site called The Person You Must Become. And it's a site that we've left. And I've got a number of candidates right now that we're vetting for a co-branding relationship and put that. The material is still second, I believe, second to none in the industry. It was the bestseller program online for a few years when we were actively involved in it. But this is my older self here, if you can see the older glasses. And this is Rudy Rudiger from the movie Rudy. And if you've missed the movie or haven't seen the movie, I highly recommend it. It is a great feel-good, inspirational movie about a kid that always wanted to play university football, college football at the University of Notre Dame. And it's a story of overcoming. And I had the opportunity to interview Rudy, and Rudy had me to his house and invited me down to Vegas quite a few years ago to work with him in developing some of the components of his messaging for his keynoting. But I had a chance to visit his house, just an unbelievable venue in Las Vegas. But I did an interview with him. I said, Rudy, I'd really like to do an interview with you on the power of discovering your dream and beginning to understand the power of messaging your dream. So I'd like to give you that. I'm going to, this is we have a CD from this, and I've got actually a lot of them. People do order them still, and we send them out physically, but you don't need to do that. I'll give you a download link for it. All you need to do is text the word Rudy, R-U-D-Y, to 1-248-469-4376. I just wrote it out here for you because I forgot to do it ahead of time here. But you just need to text the word Rudy, all lowercase letters, R-U-D-Y, Rudy to 1-248-469-4376. Okay, you can text that word Rudy to 1-248-469-4376, and you'll have access. It gives you and I a chance to exchange contact information. You don't go on any lists or anything like that, so don't worry. Email today, email deliverability drives me crazy, even internally. It's just not dependent anymore and becoming less dependent. So best way that I like to exchange content and materials with my own clients is by you texting me. Gives us a chance to exchange contact information. And most importantly, then I can give you a direct download link for the program. And you will have this program here, The Person You Must Become, The Fundamentals of Achieving Your Dream with Rudy Rudiger from the movie Rudy. And I was the host, Glenn Dietzel, in that. So love to send you that. All you need to do again is text the word Rudy, R-U-D-Y. Let's see if we can get that in here, pull it back. Rudy to 1-248-469-4376. All right, get that. And consume it right away. If you'd like to check out further The Person You Must Become, just type in the URL. Go there. There's you can get a month or you can get on a subscription. It's first 30 days is free, and then there's you build a nominal amount. But that program is fantastic, and I'm proud of it because I put so much time and effort into it to help, especially those that are in startup mode. Which is, I got a huge passion for startups because I was a startup. I've got no MBA program. I have the leading candidate, one of the leading business schools in Canada, Ivy Business School, contacting me to be a mentor for their MBA clients. And I don't have an MBA. I don't have any formalized business background. What I do is have over 12,000 hours working in business, designing systems, processes, blueprints, legal agreements, all of that to help those that want to lead their industry execute at the fastest levels. And understanding your UPP is crucial. So get the program, download the free access to the interview with Rudy. And I look forward to next week. We're going to pick up this theme. I want to show you the 10 steps to developing your guru or your expert story. Everything I share is 100% proprietary. And we keep these Google Hangouts open because this is for you. To assist you, and it's also for our clients that make intelligent decisions to invest their money in working directly with me to help them grow their company. So I'm passionate about what I do. I'm passionate about your success, and I'm really passionate too about doing things outside of the box, like our Google Hangouts that we're going to be doing on the beach. So stay tuned to future Google Hangouts. It's Glenn Dietzel here live from the Canadian Lake Home. And those of you that are coming into our next Business Acceleration one-day intensive, I look forward to meeting you, shaking your hand, introducing you to my family, and really passionate about sharing with you the systems, the tools, the processes, and everything we've done to help you in lightning speed accelerate to the #1 position in your marketplace, where you are commanding maximum fees, where you are getting paid up front for high-end programs and services, and where you're getting paid over and over and over again, where you have a true ROIT business, return on invested time business, because you've got royalties. So I look forward to our next Business Breakthrough Google Hangouts. Holler if you need anything, and look forward, as I mentioned, to celebrating your successes as you grow your company.